Thank you, Mataji. Anybody else wants to do Hare Krishna?
Hare Krishna, Mataji. You go ahead, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Okay, Mataji. नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा जय श्रील प्रभुपाद निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल हरे कृष्णा माता जी प्रभु जी has not joined. Anybody else wants to do kirtan?
Hare Krishna.
Oh,
Mataji,
Prabhu
Prabhuji has joined. Has
yes,
joined.
Mataji. Hare Krishna. Pranams,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Pranams, Prabhuji. Welcome to the
Hare
ICF
Krishna.
forum, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Shilpa Mataji,
Hare
shall I
Krishna.
make you the host? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, shall I begin?
Yes, Prabhu.
Hare
Hari Bol.
Krishna. Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Jai Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Jai Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradari Jaya Girivaradari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava जय कुंज बिहारी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे रामा राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे रामा राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे रामा राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे रामा राम राम हरे हरे, जय राधा विनोद राधा विनोद राधे, जय राधा कृष्ण चंद्र राधा कृष्ण चंद्र राधे, जय राधा रास बिहारी राधा रास बिहारी राधे, जय राधा मदन मोहन राधा मदन मोहन राधे, जय राधे जय राधे जय राधे, जय श्री राधे, जय राधे जय राधे, जय राधे जय श्री राधे, राधे 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 गोविंद 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 राधे, गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो, राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो, जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ स्वामी, जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ, जय बलदेव सुभद्रा माई जय सुदर्शना, जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पतगामी, नयन पतगामी बाबा तुम्हें, जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पतगामी, नयन पतगामी बाबा तुम्हें, जय नरसिंह नृसिंगारे नृसिंगारे जय नृसिंगारे, जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज, प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज, जय गौरान्विताय गौरान्विताय गौरान्विताय, जय गौरान्विताय निताय गौर, हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर, हरि बोल, जय जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद, जय जय प्रभुपाद, जय जय गुरुदेव गुरुदेव गुरुदेव, जय जय गुरुदेव, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय, शिला प्रभुपाद की जय, गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल, हरे कृष्णा। Thank you so much for giving me one more opportunity for my own purification. I thank this ICF group, all the mentors and group coordinators and devotee caregivers, and the management of ICF. It's almost like a temple now. Like how I tell another devotee who's running Bhakti Yoga group, it's also running like a temple. They are donating, they are having festivals, they are doing lamp lighting in that. So this festival also, so this group also ICF is now almost taken a shape of a virtual temple, which is really commendable, which is really some apaurusha act. Apaurusha means one something which is beyond supernatural, not natural, super. It's beyond supernatural, almost supernatural. So I thank all of you to give me this ability to put one more flower on the lotus feet of my Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tado Jayamudiraye. नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी. Hare Krishna. I came to know the shlokas day before yesterday, but and I'm sure that I know that hopefully these shlokas which I'm going to cover are the same ones which supposed to be spoken today, which is 4.4.15 to 17, means 15, 16, and 17. Is
Hare
it right?
Krishna. Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. All right. So I will do 15, and I think purports are a little longer. So the first one I will do, and second and third one you can divide between Prabhujis and Matajis, so they can raise their hands and we can have a wonderful session. So it's almost Lord's arrangement. Day before yesterday, I was doing Mangalarti and in the ICC, and then yesterday I was in the temple Sunday, and then today I'm giving Bhagavatam, and tomorrow again I am supposed to give Bhagavatam early in the morning at around 6:30 in ICC, ISKCON Cultural Center. So, and somehow Krishna's arrangement, I'm going to speak on the fourth canto only. So it's all arrangement that same canto I'm reading at two places for my own purification. All right. So we'll we'll sing the first shloka. So Srimad Bhagavatam 4.4.15 Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Yat pada padamam mahatam mano livir nishevitam brahma rashashvartibhi lokasya yadvarshati Chashisho arthinas tasmai bhavan druyati vishvabandave. Synonyms. Yat yat padamam, the lotus feet of whom, mahatam, of the higher personalities, manaha alibi, by the bees of the mind. Bees of the mind. I think in Kannada and Hindi, bees are like Madhumakhi or something, right? Those flies, bees, right? Am I right? By the bees of the mind.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, good. Thank you. Nishevitam, being engaged at Brahma Rasa of the transcendental bliss, Brahmananda. Ashva Artivi, seeking the nectar, Lokasya, of the common man. Yat means which, Varshati, he fulfills, Cha and Ashisha, desires. Arthinaha, seeking. Arthinaha, seeking. Tasmai, towards him, Lord Shiva. Bhavan, you. Riyati, are envious. Yes, thank you. Sorry, my wife was asking something. Sorry, I got little. Dhruyati, are envious. Vishwa Bandhave, unto the friend of all living entities within three words. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. You are envious of Lord Shiva, who is the friend of all living entities within the three worlds. For the common man, he fulfills our desires, and because of their engagement in thinking of his lotus feet, he also blesses higher personalities who are seeking after Brahmananda, transcendental bliss. Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ordinarily, there are two classes of men. One class who are grossly materialistic, want material prosperity, and their desires are fulfilled if they worship Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva, being very quickly satisfied, satisfies the material desires of common man very quickly. Therefore, it is seen that ordinary men are very apt to worship him. Apt here means suitable. So are very suitable or apt to worship him. Who? Because Lord Shiva is satisfied quickly, all those devotees or all those people or the living entities who have ordinary men, not devotees, ordinary men, who can satisfy easily Lord Shiva to get material benedictions. To them, he is very suitable to be worshipped. Next, those who are disgusted or frustrated with a materialistic way of life worship Lord Shiva to attain salvation, which entails freedom for material identification. I'll take a pause here because these sessions we are having more than one shloka, right? So it's difficult to cover all the points. But I think as a speaker, we do justification when we stick to the purport what it is speaking and then dwell on to that so that we catch to what Srila Prabhupada was trying to explain us. Because he wrote this and we are reading it. So we should try to understand what Prabhupada may be thinking and saying. So I'll take a pause here, and it is written that those who are disgusted or frustrated with the material way of life. So this refers to those people who are currently frustrated with materialistic way of life. That means once upon a time they wanted material desires. So they started living a material way of life. But now they are fed up, frustrated, disgusted of the materialistic way of life. The reason, their body is not supporting their materialistic way of life. B, what they wanted, that rasa to come, they're not getting. C, their family members not cooperating with them. D, nobody is caring for them. E, they feel they have they have committed a lot of mistakes and they are not able to do atonement of them. Like this, there are several reasons they get frustrated. I'll narrate you an incident of a current very big personality. All of you know him. Once he told to a newspaper editor or some patrikar, some person who had come to take his interview for a newspaper, some newsprint or maybe some print or TV medium or somewhere. But he's a very big personality in India. And he said, sometimes I want to run away from this life. And he is a film personality and he stays in Bombay. Then one newspaper in the afternoon is very famous in Bombay. If you have, I've stayed in Bombay for 11 years. I did my engineering from there, so I know that newspaper. So that newspaper approached him of for their own increment of their distribution of their newspaper or whatever they're marketing. They said they read this and they went and told to this person, sir, we read about you. You said sometimes you feel like fed up of everything and run away from this. He says, yeah, I said that. Sir, we want to give you an experience of that. He was surprised. Is it? What do you want to do? Sir, we will make you disguise as a normal man and make you look like some character on the road, maybe a beggar or a fruit seller or somebody. But then they realize that he's so famous that if he becomes a fruit seller, people will be able to talk to him. And so they decided, let's make him a beggar because nobody wants to even talk to beggars, right? Have you ever seen anybody going and talking to a beggar? So, how are you? Did you have your food? In fact, everybody run away from the beggars because they will ask something. Now, I'm not decrying begging, or my concern is totally different. I'm just sticking to the purport what Srila Prabhupada is writing. So I'm not saying begging is good or bad. I'm not talking about those material ways. I'm just trying to bring some point here. What is this mentioned here? That how people get frustrated. So then he said, okay, fine, we'll make you a beggar because nobody wants to talk. So you can just be a stationary person. And so they dressed him in such a way and they did such a wonderful makeup. And they made him sit because if he stands, then again, his personality is such, people will know him. In fact, his personality is such that I have said this, some of you might have already guessed it. If he stands, he can be recognized by most of the people. So then they made him sit somewhere in the city of Delhi. And they completely camouflaged him in the form of a beggar. And they put a katora, a sort of a vessel in front of him. And he was taking a odni, means kambal or some sheet he was covering himself, and then makeup, long hair. Nobody could really recognize. And he's sitting, so how do people know? And he's not talking to anybody. And he stayed there for 4, 5 hours, 6 hours. And then nobody literally recognized him. And then they disengaged the act. And he was swiftly taken from that place back to. And then there was a huge article by this newspaper who invited him of narrating his experience of him being away from the limelight for 6 hours and sitting among the common man and looking to the world, which he, in this current state of his life, cannot do. And they put a huge article on this. I don't remember everything written in that article, but then the sonam bonum, or the summary of that article, is that he mentioned everything. He said, yes, that was an experience of life. But then I understood that God has been very kind to me. He has made me so famous, has given me some things. People recognize me. So he wanted to tell us that he went under a roller coaster for those 6 hours, a roller coaster experiences within his heart and mind. You see, he's undergoing huge churning within his mind and heart. He said, for first few hours, I was relaxed. I was hiding. Although I was feeling little heat because I'm used to being air conditioned, and in a Bombay is little humid, but people who stay in Bombay or people who stay near the coastal region, they that weather is really little different, salty, and so he could feel that difference. So he was narrating each and everything what he underwent. And then in the end, he also said that I was thinking, if I would have been a beggar born, I would have missed all what I have seen in life. And then he said, maybe I'm good wherever I am. And he felt that, yes, we are running for something. And that something also got answered within his heart, those 6 hours. that there's something beyond this life. And then they asked him that, sir, some days back you were saying you just want to run away, and we gave you an opportunity to run away. And this such a wonderful experiences you have. And he said, yes. But then he ended that article saying, life is just an experience. I know one day everything I have achieved is going to go away. So then he understood that satisfaction is something, whatever God has given me, I must be satisfied in that. And then he recorrected his point, saying that I felt I made a judgment very hastily. Because when I meet people, I feel satisfied. It's not that they know me as a very wonderful character I play in the movies, but also a lot of people meet me because I am a person. I love to talk. I love to play. I love to sing. I love to talk to them. So life has much more to be given. But when we close our eyes, we get frustrated. And then he said, maybe all this answer, he also said that I am attached somewhere deep within me as a spiritual person. I am, because one day I have to leave this. So I could also understand that he understands what it is all about. And all this what is temporary. So this is not very surprising that such a big personality who is currently present with us is feeling that frustration. What about each one of us undergo in different levels this frustration? And this frustration comes because of the materialistic way of life, because we want this world to be like an order supply. I order and I get things and I'm comfortable. So such people who don't understand the material way of life, they get frustrated. But devotees also hanker for material things in life, but they put that material things at the right and proper place. So devotees don't get frustrated with material things. They do get frustrated, but with their knowledge, they overcome. And then they use the material way of life in a proper way so that they have some answer to the society, they answer it. Yet at the same time, they strike a balance and they contribute to the society. Now, ISKCON on a whole has a huge responsibility to the society. But core to us in ISKCON, International Society for Krishna Consciousness, we are in core completely spiritual. Yet, every ISKCON devotee takes part in the formation of a nation, in the formation of a society. He goes and works. He creates a temple. He goes to different companies and works and earns the money and contributes in the temple formation. And the same people who are bereft of material world, they come to ISKCON and get the spiritual love and care. They go out in the open and meet the people in malls, on roads, and ask them to light the lamps on the Kartik Damodar month. Why they do that is because they don't get frustrated with material life, but they know that if they don't take to Krishna consciousness, they will get frustrated, and all the people around them are also already frustrated. So it is an empirical duty. It is most practical duty of every soul. The moment he realizes, if you see a currency, there is written a saying on a currency to the bearer of this 100 rupees or 1000 rupees or whatever rupees note denomination. I belong to that bearer. Same way, the day we realize we are not this body, we are souls, we become the bearer of Krishna consciousness. And we are Krishna conscious. And our job and duty is to help others realize this. It is written one who understands that he is not the material body but his spirit soul. And I now come back to the shloka. One who understands that he is not material body but his spirit soul is liberated from ignorance. And then Lord Shiva also offers that facility. People generally practice religion for economic development, to get some money. For by getting money, they can satisfy their senses, no doubt about it. But when they are frustrated, Prabhupada writes again, but when they are frustrated, they want spiritual Brahmananda, or merging into the Supreme. Now he is telling about the Ananda of spirituality by merging into Supreme. So you may be knowing that Krishna is very merciful. And how I should say is how some lectures I have heard from very stalwart devotees. They say, if you want to take a rest, you can merge into Brahman for some time and take a rest. That's also a mukti, that you get off all the things. But we devotees don't aspire for that, merging into Brahman. That may be satisfying to a certain extent, but it does not satisfy you by negating your identity. Rather, more things get satisfied when you serve Krishna in a very in front. You serve him actively, passively, or conjugally, on whichever way. So these are, so then he says, but when they are frustrated, they want material Brahmananda, merging into Supreme. These four principles of life: religion, economic development, sense gratification, and liberation, dharma, artha, kama, moksha, exist. And Lord Shiva is the friend of both the ordinary man and the man who is elevated in spiritual knowledge. It was not good for Daksha to create enmity towards him. So somebody can go on mute. Somebody's eating or something, it's okay, no problem. Feel free to, because anyway, 10 a.m. Those who have to take medicines, please do take medicines. If you have, you're aging and, so feel free. I have no, there's nothing like that. You can be at your leisure. You have to be real. You have to be original. So respect all of us, So, but that sound was just maybe bothering others who are hearing, and a little bit I was getting distracted. So Lord Shiva is friend of both ordinary man and the man who is elevated in spiritual knowledge. So we know that Krishna, in the Guhyam way, in a hidden way, only Shiva is Krishna himself, in a very deep hidden way. Otherwise, he's Vishnu in the front, right, in the material world. But in the spiritual world, he is two-handed form of Krishna. So it's written that thus, Sati is saying, thus here it is written, thus it was not good for Daksha to create enmity towards him. Even Vaishnavas, who are both the ordinary and the elevated men in this world, even the Vaishnavas who are above the ordinary and the elevated men in this world, also worship Lord Shiva as the greatest Vaishnava. Vaishnavama yathavatha Shambhu. He is the greatest Vaishnava. He is the, you can say, a real Vaishnava. Such a big Vaishnava, a couple of days back, I don't know where I was giving class, when I mentioned this point, that he was giving class to the saintly people, that last time, that Mohini, right? So I made that point, right? So he's giving class and telling how to abstain yourself, to protect yourself from getting attracted to the opposite gender. After some time, he's running away behind the opposite gender, but nobody dared open the mouth, because he's Vaishnavam yathavata Shambhu. He has a reason. Who is making him attracted is the Vishnu, the Krishna himself. So the common men, the elevated men, and the devotees of the Lord. So no one should disrespect or create enmity towards Lord Shiva. And when I was in 2005, I was working in a company in somewhere in ITPL 2005, 7, 6, 7. I started giving discourses over there to just help people during lunchtime. The first person in the first class of Bhagavad Gita came and told me the difference between Lord Shiva and Krishna. So these are very sensitive topics. You are all preachers already preaching or future preachers. Be very, very soft when people ask such questions. And devotees, especially if you go and read the social media circles like Quora, a lot of people have misunderstanding about these ISKCON devotees. They openly say that these men don't respect Devi Devtas. ऐसा नहीं है. ऐसा नहीं है. If you are reading scriptures, Srila Prabhupada is saying, you go and read in Reddit, Quora, hundreds of places. When we preach, our message doesn't reach properly, and then people start writing about us like this. So you have to be very careful. These are the topics which just makes or breaks people's impression towards ISKCON. And ISKCON is very important. It's the largest organization in the world and supposed to stay here for another whatever 10,000 years total. And it will continue beyond that in a subtle way. So one should never discriminate or create enmity. And that's something is similar is happening in these shlokas. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदमह्यं ददति स्वापदन्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरु वैष्णवं श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सागररत्नातं वितं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्ण पदान् सह गणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितं च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमस्तते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी कृष्ण भानु सुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिय वांछा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिंधुभ्येव च पतितनाम पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मोघम करोति वाचालं पंगुं गायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुरातारिणं सवैर्मन कृष्णा पदरविन्दयो सवैर्मनः कृष्णा पदरविन्दयो. Welcome to the class. Thank you so much for hearing till now. We have just started the class. And this way, what is happening is that this chapter, Canto 4, is the creation of the fourth order. And we are hearing the conversation between Maitreya Muni and Vituka. And we are reading chapter 4, which talks about Swati quits her body. We see that how she leaves her husband's house and reaches her parents' house. And she was very much welcomed by her sister and mother. But she does not reciprocate their reply. She was offered a seat. She doesn't accept anything. And her father didn't talk to her, nor welcomed her, asking about her welfare. All this was pinching Sati. We all know Lord Shiva looks a little different. He has vibhuti. He's putting a lot of things. He doesn't look like a normal personality. And somewhere Daksha is always irked by the presence of such a wonderful, beautiful, sweet. He's known as Ashutosh, easily pleased. But ये जिंदगी की एक विडंबना है. हर अच्छे व्यक्ति को रोना पड़ता है इस दुनिया में. प्रभु तो खैर प्रभु है. Shiva is Shiva. He is beyond us. But sometimes we devotees do have people have nature of a Ashutosh. They're easily pleased. You ask them any service, they will give you. They will always love you. They will always take care of you. There are devotees who imbibe the nature of Lord Shiva. Unfortunately, these people always help others. They are ready to help others. In return, they don't care whether somebody comes and helps them. They always talk politely to others. It's not that they don't get angry. They're not like stone. They also have feelings. But they tolerate. They also get angry. They tolerate. And they keep forgiving people a lot. And such people, you know, shane rushta, shane tushta, means he becomes angry easily, but he forgives also. Lord Shiva is like that. Of course, we know Krishna in the form of Lord Shiva doesn't give you a boon which can last long. He'll give you a boon, but he's the capability, or he loves to give those boons which are eternal, means Krishna consciousness, because he himself is the tattva. He's himself the supreme truth. So he can very well give you any benediction. So, but this yuga or this kind of world doesn't respect your Ashutosh nature. And so as Lord Shiva is undergoing. बहुत रुलाती है ये जिंदगी, बहुत रुलाती है ये जिंदगी, और फिर यही जिंदगी आंसू भी पोंछती है. This world will make you weep and wipe out your tears as well. Some people will come in your life, make you weep like anything, that even आपका दामन भीग जाएगा. आप रोते रोते your clothes towards the chest and the breast area will get wet. This world will make you so much weep. But there will be some who will hug you for whatever you are. They will not put conditions to love you. They will love you because whatever you are, they love you unconditionally. There are people who do that. There are devotees who do that. In fact, Vaishnavas are paro paradukhi. You invite them, devotees. We all ISKCON devotees have a unique tendency. You do a program at home, 5-6 devotees more will come. I have never seen in my 24 years of ISKCON life, I have never seen devotees becoming unhappy. They may become worried, how will I feed them? So they will cook, they will put pressure cooker, they'll put rice, they'll make dal. All the food get over. Prabhu, bas mat jao ghar, wait karo. However number of devotees come, they don't mind. And all the devotees I've seen, the visitors or the people who, they go into kitchen, cook for them and feed those devotees. You are being invited to that program, but you be the host then. That's the beauty of the Vaishnavas, we all devotees. That's what I have learned seeing all of you. So, but despite all this, this world makes you weep. And Lord Shiva is such a beautiful personality. To save all the people, he took halahal, he took the poison in his neck, which became so heated here and blue neck. That's why he's called as Neelakantha. Nobody can dare to touch that poison, but he's taking it here. Nobody can dare to take the force of the river Ganga, but he takes it on his head and keeps it here and then releases one fraction. And till today, everybody is getting benefited of Lord's favor of releasing the Ganges, which is coming straight from the lotus feet of the Lord Krishna. So you all will notice that such a big personality is facing such humiliation in the Sabha of Daksha. And with this, let's go and further read in Shloka 10, 9 and 10 and ask devotees. So who wants to sing the next shlokas?
Hare Krishna. Kripa Mai Sita Devi Dasi Mataji, you can read the
16
shloka.
16 and 17. Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Krishnamurti Prabhuji, you can read the 17th shloka. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. Sikimba Sivakyam Asivam na Vidustvat Anye Brahmadeyastam Avakriya Smasani Tanmalya Basma Nirpali Avasat Pisacher Ye Murdabir Dadhati Charanara Vastram. Thank you, Mataji. Translation? Translation, shall I read, Mataji?
Prabhuji, you want us to do the translation? Because
Yeah. Let's interact. Let's everybody read.
yes.
Everybody is a
Okay,
preacher
Mataji,
here.
Krishnamurti Prabhuji, you read the translation. Hare Krishna.
Give
Mataji.
translation to some devotee. Purport also 3, 4, one paragraph each devotee. Let everybody get equal chance. I mean, I know it cannot be divided to everybody, but
Hare Krishna.
feel free to speak as much as you can.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Pranam Prabhuji. Translation by A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Prabhupada ki jai.
Yeah.
Do you think that greater, more respectable personalities than you, such as Lord Brahma, do not know this inauspicious person who goes under the name Lord Shiva? He associates with the demons in the crematorium. His locks of hair are scattered all over his body, and he is garlanded with human skulls and smeared with ashes from the crematorium. But in spite of all these inauspicious qualities, great personalities like Brahma honor him by accepting the flowers offered to his lotus feet and placing them with great respect on their heads. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Pranams Prabhuji.
Padma Mataji, you can read the first paragraph.
Yes, Hare
Suma
Krishna.
Mataji, the second paragraph. And Anita
Yeah,
Mataji, the third paragraph. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. It is
Yeah.
useless to condemn a great personality like Lord Shiva, and this is being stated by his wife Sati to establish the supremacy of her husband. First she said, you call Lord Shiva inauspicious because he associates with demons in crematoriums, cover his body with ashes of the dead, and garlands himself with the skulls of human beings. You have shown so many defects, but you do not know that his position is always transcendental. Although he appears inauspicious, why do personalities like Brahma respect the dust of his lotus feet and place on their heads with great respect those very garlands which are condemned by you? Since Sati was a chaste woman and the wife of Lord Shiva, it was her duty to establish the elevated position of Lord Shiva, not only by sentiment but by facts. Lord Shiva is not an ordinary living entity. This is the conclusion of Vedic scripture. He is neither on the level of the Supreme Personality of Godhead nor on the level of the ordinary living entities. Brahma is in almost all cases an ordinary living entity. Sometimes, when there is no ordinary living entity available, the post of Brahma is occupied by an expansion of Lord Vishnu, but generally, this post is occupied by a greatly pious living entity within this universe. Thus, Lord Shiva's position is constitutionally higher than that of Lord Brahma, although Lord Shiva appears as the son of Brahma. Here, it is mentioned that even personalities like Lord Brahma accept the so-called inauspicious flowers and the dust of the lotus feet of Lord Shiva. Great sages like Marichi, Atri, Bhrigu, and others among the 9 great sages who are descendants of Brahma also respect Lord Shiva in such a way because they all know that Lord Shiva is not an ordinary living entity. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, pranams. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. In many Puranas, it is sometimes asserted that a demigod is elevated to such a high position that he is almost on an equal level with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But the conclusion that Lord Vishnu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead is confirmed in every scripture. Lord Shiva is described in the Brahma Samhita to be like curd or yogurt. Curd is not different from milk. Since milk is transformed into curd, in one sense, curd is also milk. Similarly, Lord Shiva is in one sense the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But similarly, Lord Shiva is, but in another sense, he is not. Just as curd is milk, although we have to distinguish between the two. These descriptions are in the Vedic literature. Whenever we find that a demigod occupies a position apparently more elevated than that of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, it is just to draw the devotees of the devotee's attention to that particular demigod. It is also stated in the Bhagavad Gita 9.25 that if one wants to worship a particular demigod, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is sitting in everyone's heart, gives one greater and greater attachment for that demigod so that one may be elevated to that demigod's abode. Yanti Deva Vrata Devan. By worshipping demigods, one can elevate himself to the abodes of the demigods. Similarly, by worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one can be elevated to the spiritual kingdom. This is stated in different places in Vedic literature. Here, Lord Shiva is praised by Sati, partially due to her personal respect for Lord Shiva, since he is her husband, and partially due to his exalted position, which exceeds that of ordinary living entities, even Lord Brahma. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. The portion of Lord Shiva is accepted by Lord Brahma, so Daksha, Sati's father, should also recognize him. That was the point of Sati's statement. She did not actually come to her father's house to participate in the function, although before coming, she pleaded with her husband that she wanted to see her sisters and her mother. That was a play only, for actually at heart she maintained the idea that she would convince her father, Daksha, that it was useless to continue being in ways of Lord Shiva. That was her main purpose. When she was unable to convince her father, she gave up the body he had given her, as will be seen in the following verses.
Yeah, I'll just speak few seconds. I'm going to speak something very different. There's a reason I'm going to say this. It's my experience. Devotees like Shiv Kumar Prabhu is elder to me. Maybe he's married and he has seen Grihastha life more than me. I've seen 15, 16 years of Grihastha life. There are devotees here, maybe 20, 30, 40 years of Grihastha life. So this relationship between a husband and a wife, in my understanding, discussing, I'm going to make a point here. In some of the traditions, the husband and wife are considered, they are equal. मेरी माँ ने मुझे शादी से पहले बताया, ये बात फैक्ट है मेरे जीवन की, कि बेटा पति पत्नी एक रथ के दो पहिए हैं. अगर तुम्हें समाज में चलना है तो पति और पत्नी को घर की जिंदगी चलाने के लिए एक दो व्हील्स हैं, टू व्हील्स ऑफ अ रथ. दिस इज फैक्ट ऑफ लाइफ. I have spoken to devotees who are quite senior to me, maybe 15, 20 years senior to me. And they say that, and all Prabhus I have discussed, I've never discussed these Grihastha life, of course, being a Prabhu. And every Prabhu I have spoken, I ask them very going close and I say, what do you think? You are more strength, you have more strength of your wife. And let me tell it, this is a recording. Every Prabhu said, my wife is stronger than me. My wife is more deeper than me. My wife is does more work for the home than me. They will say, I know my wife's mistakes. So as I have mistakes, Prabhu. I know her mistakes. Sometimes she thinks very deep. Sometimes she will not at all think deep. These are the things which I'm sharing what generally the men, the Prabhus, they discuss. I'm just disclosing that. But they said that, look, I have also problems. But how she's tolerating me? I think I'm not able to tolerate her as much as she's able to tolerate me. But every time, one thing was common. One devotee just lost 5 years back. Can't name those devotees here. He lost his wife. He was also a wonderful initiated devotee. And I asked her. And when I went home, he was actually picking the clothes from the wire, sukhane ke liye kapde rakhe the. The clothes were kept on drying after the washing machine. So he was picking. So tears fell from my eyes. Let me be very frank. And I went to his home because the wife died out of the city in some dham. I went and I saw him picking up clothes, and tears came down to my eyes. And he said, from top, he said, "Wait for 5 minutes." Then he put all the clothes in and then opened the door and welcomed me in his home. And my eyes were a little wet. And used to always go to their home and I used to see Mataji doing that work. And I could not tolerate. And I said, "Prabhu, aaj dil toot gaya, Prabhu ji." मैं माता जी को करते हुए देखता था। मैं ये नहीं कह रहा हूँ कि आपने कपड़े नहीं उठाए। बोलते नो, many times I also picked up clothes. I never thought she's on it. Maybe you might have seen her doing. Then this conversation started, and then I asked him. He says, मेरा आधार चला गया प्रभु, बहुत बड़ी सपोर्ट थी मेरी। Every Prabhu, I've never spoken to Matajis. Let me be very frank. I generally avoid speaking to Matajis. Not that I disrespect them or scared of them. No, generally, हमें जैसी counseling मिली है, हम ज़्यादा बात नहीं करते. I don't too much stare into Matajis. I do a lot of temple service. I generally talk to Matajis with my head down. That's how I've been taught in 24 years. And that's the best way. It's not to disrespect, or my wife challenges me this. Are you scared? Do you think you are wrong? No. Discipline is a discipline. तो इसीलिए मेरे को दूसरी साइड के बारे में नहीं पता. I don't know about Mataji's. I've never spoken. And such topics you generally don't discuss with your wife. But all the Prabhus have told me they feel their wives are a big, big support. Believe me, coming to this shloka, where Shiva is telling her not to go, she still goes. But now this is disclosed here so deeply. Her main purpose was to convince her father. Lord Shiva knows this. That's why he permits her to go. And that's why Lord Shiva loves Sati a lot. To that extent that you will read in future. I don't want to disclose that, but we all know. He loves his wife so much that he even annihilates Daksha. And his entourage desanctifies the entire sacrificial arena. We have all read that. We can read it. But what is the point here? Why did I discuss the earlier point of all the Prabhus and Matajis? Believe me, your husband may have never thanked you for being a wonderful woman in his life, but somewhere in down their heart, they know their life is impossible without all of you. Krishna has created this life in such a way that husband and wife can be the best of the friends to help become Krishna consciousness to each other. In fact, a husband and wife are the unit, like how the Lord Shiva and Sati, every husband and wife are the unit of the society. When this unit, which is the cell in a body, a cell in a society is this husband and wife. When that gets corrupted, then the society, it's exactly something similar cancer happens. When the cell gets, the tendency of generating cells within the body increase more than the unwanted cells being removed by the immunity of the body, that stage is known as cancer. Even a healthy body has cancerous cells. I know this. I'm not a doctor here, but my mother is a 10 to 15-year cancer patient. I've read about it, and so I'm trying to relate it to cancer in a Krishna conscious way. So the body has the high immunity to remove the cancerous cells from the body. Otherwise, every healthy body has the tendency to have cancer. Cancerous cells are there, but they're removed by the immunity. And that is why they say that if you want to avoid cancer in the body, keep your body healthy, happy, eat well, sleep well, and live in conjunction with the environment around you. It's a hormonal issue. Same way, husband and wife have to be very careful that they have to hear each other and live a very conducive life. There is no stronger bond which can actually elevate you, because parents also have certain time with you to stay, but then they also go away, wither away. But it's hard. Even children, they grow elder and then they get married and they go away. तो मेरी माँ मुझे सिखाती थी कि माँ बाप जन्म के साथी होते हैं और बच्चे अपने कर्म के साथी होते हैं, माँ बाप अकेले ही रह जाते हैं. I know hundreds of families whose children are in US and they're alone here. I have dropped several devotees whose children should have dropped them. I have dropped them. That doesn't mean I'm complaining them, but they don't complain. They're still so happy. So अंत में माँ बाप husband wife ही एक दूसरे के काम आते हैं. This is what the essence of Krishna consciousness. This is what exactly this husband wife, who are the almost supreme, they are the supreme personality of Godhead, Shiva and his wife, is saying that. See, it's written. He is one way supreme. And then Prabhupada explains us how it has to be understood how Lord Shiva is supreme. But since we know that Krishna is supreme, we don't dwell much upon Lord Shiva's supremacy, Krishna's as Lord Shiva's supremacy, or Krishna supremacy in the form of Lord Shiva. We don't dwell too much into it. We then move away quickly and just try to stick to Krishna. That is why it's such a soft and a topic which has to be taken care of the way a baby is in the hands, a newborn baby is in the hands of a mother. So very mature devotees are able to take these topics. So wonderful. Let's go and read maybe the last sloka for today.
Vrishbhanu Mataji, the shloka, and Divya Desai Mataji translation. I'll do the purport. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, wonderful. Somebody is reading.
Vrishbhanu Mataji.
Yes,
Hare Krishna. Yeah.
Krishna, Pranam. Karno Pigaya Nirayatya Kalpa Ishe Dharma Vitarya Shunibhin Rubhirasya Mane Chindhyat Prasaiha Rushati Masatim Prabhuste Deva Manas Suna Api Tato Vishrujjet Sadharma. Hare Krishna.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sati
Jai.
continued. If one hears an irresponsible person bless me, the master and controller of religion, one should block his ears and go away if unable to punish him. But if one is able to kill, then one should by force cut out the blasphemer tongue and kill the offender, and after that one should give up his own life. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The argument
Hare
of
Krishna Mataji. I will read the purport.
Okay,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna, Hare Krishna. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The argument offered by Sati is that a person who vilifies a great personality is the lowest of all creatures. But by the same argument, Daksha could also defend himself by saying that since he was a Prajapati, the master of many living creatures and one of the great officers of the great universal affairs, his position was so exalted that Sati should accept his good qualities instead of vilifying him. The answer to that argument is that Sati was not vilifying but defending. If possible, she should have cut out Daksha's tongue because he blasphemed Lord Shiva. In other words, since Lord Shiva is the protector of religion, a person who vilifies him should be killed at once, and after killing such a person, one should give up one's life. That is the process. But because Daksha happened to be the father of Sati, he decided not to kill him. She decided not to kill him, but to give up her own life in order to compensate for the great sin she had committed by hearing blasphemy of Lord Shiva. The instruction set forth here in Srimad Bhagavatam is that one should not tolerate at any cost the activities of a person who vilifies or blasphemes an authority. If one is a Brahman, he should not give up his body, because by doing so, he would be responsible for killing a Brahman. Therefore, a Brahman should leave the place and block his ears so that he will not hear the blasphemy. If one happens to be a Kshatriya, he has the power to punish any man. Therefore, a Kshatriya should at once cut out the tongue of the vilifier and kill him. But as far as the Vaishyas and Shudras are concerned, they should immediately give up their bodies. Sati decided to give up her body because she thought herself to be among the Shudras and Vaishyas. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 9.32, Striyo Vaishya Tatha Sudra, women, laborers, and the mercantile class are on the same level. Thus, since it is recommended that Vaishyas and Shudras should immediately give up their bodies, upon hearing blasphemy of an exalted person like Lord Shiva, she decided to give up her life. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Pranams.
Pranams. Hare Krishna. So this brings us to the end. And this is very self-explanatory here. All of us have read this many times, seen so many times in serials, I mean, which are properly made, and movies where they show all this. So it is written here that, one should not blaspheme, but one should think deeper. Yes, of course, you should remove the tongue and all that, but that's not practically possible in this. You'll be jailed. Or can you do that? You hear every day in some news, some other, there are so many different sections of people who keep blaspheming each other's religion. Do you go and just start killing others? What will happen? The law of land will capture you and punish you. But tinadapi sunichena tarorapi sahishnuna. So we are supposed to be humbler than the blade of grass. And we should do, kirtan sadhari. We should do kirtan. So we see so many things happening in our life. In our cases, in our current life also, so many times our family members condemn our partners. Maybe, I'm just giving an example, not every family it happens, but sometimes you may hear in the husband's side, he's hearing bad things about his wife being discussed. But you don't just go and give up your life, right? So Vaishnava life is totally dedicated. So he understands this is all, they are all in three modes of material nature. हमारे यहाँ तो बोलते हैं सास बहू का झगड़ा. So वो सब चीजें जिंदगी की हैं, and वो होता ही रहेगा. You have to learn to adjust as a husband, as a wife. I would like to conclude with one example. I witnessed a very, very different scenario. And till today, since I'm not a woman, I don't know that action of a woman was correct or not. I was standing many, many years before in front of my apartment. And I was talking on the phone, and I was standing in front of the apartment gate. It's not a very big apartment in a very big society like that, 1,000 flats, and it's not that small. And there came a car. I didn't realize the car is coming. My back was facing the road. And this gentleman just came and hit my back with his car. And they were one husband and a wife sitting. And I was shocked because I was little pushed, and my head hit the gate. And I was like, and he didn't even honk. I didn't realize that there was a car coming, because nowadays, many, many years, cars have become like this. You can't really know that the cars are switched on or off, right? Inside the car, if you close the cabins, you don't even hear. And this gentleman hit me. And I didn't look behind. It was not a very major hit, but it was such a hit that my head hit. But I didn't get hurt. No pain, nothing like that. But it was a shock. I was completely shocked. And I looked behind, and I realized that I could have got a bigger hurt. So I naturally said, "Sir, please come out." He came out, the husband came out. And I said, "Sir, what is this? You didn't see that I'm standing there?" "Yes." Sorry, sir." The wife came out immediately and said, "Why are you saying sorry to him?" I was like, "Hey." Husband came out and said, "Sorry, sir, I didn't see you." I said, "Sir, मुझे चोट लग जाती, I would have got hurt. You would have little honking कर देते, horn मारते. I would have come out. I mean, it's a small society. It's nothing big, and it's a one-way road. I would have gone. I would have opened the door for you. The watchman is there, but I would have helped the watchman to open it." But his wife came out and started scolding him. "Why are you saying sorry when he is at the fault?" I didn't realize why. And then husband said, "No, no, wo." So she started scolding him. And she said, "He's at a mistake that he's standing on the route. This is not the place to do phone calling and other things." But before I could speak, he told his wife that, "Look, there is no signal. Maybe that's why he's sitting." And my wife kept on scolding him and me. But they were very new. Later on, they became good friends. And that person was celebrating Diwali with me. That family was celebrating Diwali with me just 2 days back or 3 days back. I couldn't understand, but that's how the husband-wife relationship worked. And then that husband asked me a question. I knew. He met me in the lift and said, "I knew, sir, you were right. My wife was scolding me." And then she said sorry to me upstairs, not in front of you. Then I narrated him all this. Then he said, "Oh, sir, you're talking about." Then I told him, "Hey, look, this happens. Husband-wife relationship is a little deeper, strange. Sometimes wife knows my husband is right or wrong. Still, she will support. And sometimes husband knows my wife is right or wrong, but still they will support each other." But the fact remains the same, is that we as husband wives or in this relationship like Lord Shiva and Sati, you may notice that they're helping each other. So what do we understand the message as a normal people living life? We cannot emulate or we cannot simulate ourselves like Lord Shiva and Sati. They are very exalted. What exalted? Very, very, very exalted. Can't even think. But we should remain on the righteousness and try to help our husband or our wife to let them remain on the track of dharma. That's the message which I shared with him. And probably that was the reason why he said sorry to me. And he's still a good friend, but the family is good friend to me now. Because I said, "Look, you know that your wife is going wrong or your husband is going wrong. You must still tell them the facts of life." He said, "Yes, that's what we were discussing upstairs." And then she told me, "Go and say sorry to him." That's why I've come and said sorry to you. That was a couple of many years back. And now they're good friends. So that's good. It's very strange. So you have to give patience to this relationship. And if the patience is there between the partners, if the patience is there between father and son and father and daughter, and the patience is necessary for a relationship to blossom, and with the inputs of knowledge and help and respect, then our life is 100% meant to be Krishna conscious. We कहते हैं ना, गृहस्थ आश्रम सबसे बड़ा श्रम. It's very difficult to cross grihastha life. Even brahmacharis have told, "Prabhu, I know it's just a mind, but for you all, you have to even support the temple." Brahmacharis cannot support the temple. They can support with their effort, but they cannot go and earn outside. So grihasthas have very huge responsibility in the social structure of our Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is the backbone of human society. It is our moral responsibility as devotees to be very conducive to husband-wife. Husband should help wife to do Krishna consciousness, and wife should help to husband to do Krishna consciousness. When together they become one in their mission and vision towards Krishna, Krishna really blesses them. This is my understanding and experience a little bit. And that's how, and that's what these pastimes are making us understand. We cannot copy Lord Shiva and Sati, but we can learn these sacrifices done for each other. Hare Krishna. I would take a pause here, and we are done. Om Tat Sat. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
being with
much,
me.
Prabhuji. Wonderful class. Prabhuji, is there time for us to take, do you have time? We can take questions if at all.
If the questions are on Grihastashram, the questions are all too
Let's see.
difficult for
Devotees,
me,
anybody has
then
any
you are all.
questions to ask, please raise your hands.
These are very
Raised
sensitive
hands, yes.
topics. Nobody has raised. I know. Generally, I give classes in such a way that I keep open-ended classes, and but still, if somebody has question, I'll see if I can.
No, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. It was so well explained. We understood properly.
Yeah.
Well, is why probably no questions today.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Is it
Just
possible
laugh,
to
whatever, yeah.
Hare Krishna
Yes,
Prabhuji
yes.
Pranam. Prabhuji, is it possible to show the deities, Prabhuji, your deities? So Mataji's
Right
upon
now?
Mataji's request.
The
Yes.
Damodar Ashtakam, Prabhuji.
Means I didn't get to. Oh, the Damodar. I have a small
Dam-
photo of Damodar in my altar. Yeah, I have a small photo of them. I don't have deities. Generally, I mean, we don't keep deities. I just keep only Gaur-Nitai deities. You know, no, right? In the altar, deities.
Okay.
Yeah.
Too many deities are not advisable. So my counselors or people who nurtured me in Krishna consciousness. So I have a photo. Right now, I'm very much away from the altar.
No problem, Prabhuji. Rohini Mataji, can you share the picture, or Jigisha Mataji can share the altar?
You want
Hare Krishna.
altar, or you want that photo? I can ask my wife to bring.
No
Or maybe-
problem, Prabhuji. We can share the photo.
Oh, you want to do that Aarti?
Yeah, Damodar Ashtakam. Prabhuji, you can
I
leave
didn't
if
know
there
this.
is, if you are in a hurry, you can leave, Prabhuji. We normally do Damodar Ashtakam
Oh, I
after
didn't
the
know. So you
class.
should have told me. I would have arranged all that. I mean, I didn't know that it was supposed to be done. Nobody informed me.
That's fine, Prabhuji. It's perfectly okay. Anybody wants, Suma Mataji, you are showing the altar?
Hare Krishna. Yes, Mataji.
Hari bol.
Mataji,
And
can
who
you
is
spotlight
singing?
Jigisha Mataji? And
Yes,
Suma
I will do. Okay.
Mataji, shall I
Okay.
only sing?
Just a moment, huh? Just a moment. I'll
Okay.
first add Jigisha Mataji.
Okay,
Suma
Mataji,
Mataji is
I may
looking
not
more
leave now, but I may leave after some time.
Yes,
But
Prabhuji.
Hare
Perfectly
Krishna
okay.
to all of you. If
Thank
anybody
you
has
so much,
any
Prabhuji.
feedback, if anybody has any feedback, they can just send it on a chat.
Prabhuji, Vanchakalpatarubhyasya Kripasindhubhyevacha Pattanam
Sindhubhyevacha
Pavanabhyo
Pattanam
Vaishnavebhyo
Pavanebhyo
Namo Namo
Vaishnavebhyo
Ananta
Namo
Koti
Namah.
Vaishnava
Anant Koti
Thank you so much
Vaishnavrinda ki jai,
Prabhuji for the
Srila
wonderful
Prabhupada
class.
ki
Mata
jai.
ki jai.
Jai. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for
Thank you,
giving your time.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Who
Please
is
carry
singing
on.
Damodar Ashtakam? Hari bol?
Mataji, shall I sing, Mataji?
Yes.
Please,
Yes, please, Mataji.
Hare
Jigisha
Krishna.
Mataji has showed the altar. Yeah. Mataji, you can sing.
Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada. नमामीश्वरं सच्चिदानन्दरूपं लसत्कुण्डलं गोकुले भ्राजमानं यशोदाभियोलोकलाधवमानं परामृष्टमत्यन्ततो धृत्य गोप्याम् रुदन्तं मुहुर्नेत्रं युग्मं व्रजन्तं कराम्भोजयुग्मेन शातङ्कनेत्रम् मुहुश्वासकम्पत्रिरेखाङ्ककण्ठ स्थितग्रैवं दामोदरं भक्तिभद्रम् इति दृक्स्वलीलाभिरानन्दकुण्डे स्वघोषं निमज्वन्तमाख्यापयन्तम् तदीशितग्नेषु भक्तैर्जितत्वं पुनः प्रेमतस्तं शतावृत्तिवन्दे वरं देवमोक्षं न मोक्षावधिं वा न चान्यं वृणेऽहं वरेशादपीह इदं ते वपुर्नाथ गोपालबालं सदा मे मनस्या विरास्तां किमन्ये इदं ते मुखाम्बोजमत्यन्तनीलैर्वृतं कुन्तलैः स्निग्धरतैश्च गोप्या मुहुश्चुम्बितं बिम्बरक्ताधरं मे मनस्या विरास्तामलं लक्षलाभै नमो देवदामोदरानन्त विष्णु प्रसीद प्रभो दुःखजालाब्धिमग्नम् कृपादृष्टिवृष्ट्यातिदीनं बतानु गृहाणेश मामज्ञमेध्याक्षिदृश्यम् कुबेरात्मजौ बद्धमूर्त्यैव यद्वत् त्वया मोचितौ भक्तिभाजौ कृतौ च तथा प्रेम भक्तिं स्वकामे प्रयच्छ न मोक्षे ग्रहो मेऽस्ति दामोदरेह नमस्ते स्तु धाम्ने स्फुरदीप्तिधाम्ने त्वदीयोदरायाथ विश्वस्य धाम्ने नमो राधिकायै त्वदीयप्रियायै नमो नन्तलीलाय देवाय तुभ्यां नमो नन्तलीलाय देवाय तुभ्यां हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय श्रीला प्रभुपाद निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल थैंक यू माता जी फॉर द अपॉर्चुनिटी हरे कृष्णा pranams
Hare Krishna, wonderful Mataji. Thank you, Jigisha Mataji, for sharing the altar. And thank you, Suma Mataji, for the Damodar Ashtakam. Hare Krishna to all devotees. We'll end the class. Hare Krishna.